Hi, hello, happy Sabbath, and Shabbat Shalom. Well, this week, not only did I not get a whole lot done, Mom got done more than I did, realistically. Mostly she bought more. This is a new cactus she bought, and one or two new African violets, a couple squash vines here. She was saying one was bush type, but that does not appear to be that they're bush type. Both of them appear to be vine type. Some of the winter cactus that she got, some of them are putting on new growth already. That's good. She got those from a member of our church. So there's another set of winter cactus she got that are, I think I mentioned before that they were blooming. Well, she maybe broke the blooms off of them so that they'd put more on. I don't know. I thought I saw them with more bloom on there than that. Maybe it's just my imagination. Our aloe vera thing is still going a little at a time, progressively trying to plant some. I got another piece of celery. See if I can try to root it and maybe make it grow. Maybe it won't die. Who knows? Maybe it will die. I don't know. I'm not having good luck with celery just yet. All my babies are still alive and making noise. It's already warm out this morning. We are getting into the warm part of the year. And all the babies are running around, knocking things over, making a mess, as goats tend to do. And, well, I think I'm going to go out this way because upstairs there's really no changes at all. These grapes over here, some of them are setting fruit to different extents along through here. And what little I did do, you probably wouldn't know unless you were standing there watching me do it. But I got this corner finally stretched and nailed in place on the top of that north-south run there. And all that really equates to is that I can stretch that corner now. Hold on, let me get this gate back up here. When I go to stretch this piece, I'll have to undo some of these parts just so I can stretch this wire. But first I'll take this end of the wire, the part that's coiled up right now, get it tacked around there, get these things loosened a little bit, and then pull them tight. Now these are tied together here, that won't be a problem, but I'll have to undo it from the post somewhat, and that post, so I can give it a maximum pull towards that corner. And to do that, I'll have to actually enhance that corner some, because of the fact that that corner is not tall enough. This one's bowed over pretty badly. I'm worried it's going to break if I don't put something up there, but I do plan on putting some oak timbers across it like I did on the other side. Give it the strength it needs. The boys have torn these up pretty good, but at the top where they haven't reached, it is flowering like it has in the past. In fact, it's got bigger flowers, more vibrant flowers now that it's got fewer flowers. So, in a way, if you were looking for bigger flowers, just, stop it from making so many flowers. But obviously it's prettier when it's covered in flowers. The raspberries have pretty much mostly gone through their whole cycle. I got a few berries off of them. They're pretty tasteless, at least to me anyway. So they're putting up new shoots for next year, although Mr. O'Malley and Mr. Snookums are biting the tops off of them. Over here, I've got a very small number of these thornless blackberries. They're starting to ripen a little bit. Again, the boys have probably destroyed a few of those at this end, if you look how it's bit off a little bit. And they've tore up these vines a lot where this porcelain berry is, so it's not having as much growth. Over here, I got that tub fastened in place. It has natural manufactured slots, and I used those, and I used the screws and a couple blocks and leveled it and got it in place, so now it can be filled with compost and plants put in. I brought up 5 more empty feeder tubs and drilled holes in the bottoms above them. I always drill them with the 4 holes around them so they get proper drainage. Brought up some more blocks so that they can be leveled. Mom's tomato plants are still surviving. There's Mr. O'Malley in his little custom office. I got that term kind of from Arthur Fonzarelli from the Happy Days. This is his office. And by the way, some of these tomatoes are flowering now, so they could be fruiting pretty soon. In fact, there's a flower right there. Here's Mr. O'Malley. This basil has like quadrupled in size since last week. It has just decided life is good. The cucumber vine, Mom picked one off of it already, and I see another little fruit down there, and there'll probably be more once the boys don't decide they're edible. And then, so hopefully we'll have some cucumbers pretty soon. Other than that, her cotton plant, I don't see it in there anymore. Huh. Where is that cotton plant? Is it even alive? She put this, oh there it is right here. It's right there. So she put the citronella in there, they're liking it. And she put those 2 peppers in there, they're in too much shade I think. But they're making it. Mr. O'Malley, what's up? So this is a sage that's struggling. It's coming up, but it's not doing as well as you'd like it to. But if it stays alive long enough, in theory, it'll become good anyhow, hypothetically. Mr. O'Malley, what you doing, big boy? Boss man. Yes, I ain't got no goodies. I know. I know. No, I'll feed you later. You just go on out and eat some regular stuff, okay? Here's a Mr. O'Malley. Yeah. He weighs as much or more than I do. Seeing his muscles denser than fat. He got 15 pounds or better on his head. 7 or 8 pounds per horn at least. Quite a chunk of meat. Most of the flowers are in between bloom. And I don't know if they haven't been eating the tops off the yellow cone flowers or if they just haven't been coming up yet. I don't think they have just been eating the tops off of them, because for the most part I think they like the flowers best of anything. That said, there are a few stray yellow flowers up there. I don't know if they're cone flowers, I think they're more sunflowers. The horse mint is probably about done blooming here in a day or 2. It'll pretty much be done flowering. I've decided against my better judgment to go ahead and allow it to go to seed. Partly because I'm really not set up to harvest it and do much with it, but partly because of the fact that the more seed I can put out, or have out, the more they'll repopulate and get up stronger for when I am prepared. Or there'll just be more of them. And of course I realize to some extent that's also dependent on the weather. We had so much more rain this year than past years. Now, wild petunias have finally come out, and they are doing very beautifully. Really doing nice. So while the coneflowers, the echinacea, are fading, and so are the horse mint, the petunias are filling in the gap. and wild poppy. So we got poppies and petunias filling in for coneflowers and horse mint. And and then of course the sunflowers that they haven't devoured yet, all along through there. And the mimosa, which is doing very pretty. It's doing pretty well. Alright. Now, the other week I went stumbling around here thinking that I had found a, now I forgot what they're called. No cliche about being on the tip of my tongue. Well, I was right that they're here. I was just looking in the wrong place for them. Geranium? What geranium? It was, anyhow, these things. So that is the third batch colony of them. Still can't think of it even though I'm looking at it. So anyhow, I was a little disappointed I didn't find it last week, but I found it during the middle of the week, and ta-da, I found it. So, and I'm sure people that know flowers, they go, well, that's a so-and-such, and be like, yeah, okay. I can't remember from one day to the next. We're finally getting a couple of specks of butterfly weed up over here. Everywhere else is in full bloom. Down here in this valley, the problem you run into in this valley is it's so dark. Literally, it's a box canyon, so the sun rays, it comes up an hour late, sets an hour early, and you got all the overhead trees, and you pretty much get nothing. At ground level anyway. It's probably the boys right there patrolling for easy prey. A lot of the flowers that will come up will probably get eaten by the boys, I bet. Now, if they haven't found it and destroyed it yet, I have. And I thought I had killed them both, but at least one of them I didn't kill yet, somehow, to my shock and awe. A deer. Probably a fawn. This little critter right here, it's a broadleaves, is actually a small pecan. I don't know if it's a wild pecan or a tame pecan, but it's a small pecan. And there may be another one in here with it, but I haven't done a real heavy search to see if it successfully sprouted or not. But that one did, and that's why it's in this cage and back in this cluster of clutter, in hopes that the boys won't find it until I can get it set up defensively, because it's way too small to survive their onslaught. In other words, they'll get in there and devour it, because it's still just a teeny little seedling, barely alive. I need to make certain they don't find it before it gets big enough I can armor plate it and move it somewhere that it has a better chance of becoming a big healthy tree. Although there's a deer right there, a doe and a fawn. Yeah, they're all over the place around here. You see them all the time if you come out here all the time. I don't really come out here all the time, especially not in the heat. Of course, it's a little cooler right now, so they're probably out when it's cool and not when it's hot. Something I meant to mention last week and forgot was that I had successfully potted or transplanted, whatever, grounded that one sprig. It's a clone of the bigger blackberry plant. I don't know how well it's doing out here, if it's even still alive, But I'm about to find out myself since I haven't been down here. It's here. Well, that poor Easter lily next to it is a tiger lily's about shot. Tiger lily's been devoured, but that thing has put on new growth. It's looking really happy. It's got this stem is bare. This stem is almost like brand new. This is the old stem from last year anyhow, so it doesn't really matter that much. But this one's got new growth on it, so I'm pretty encouraged. I put a lot of wood. You can see the hoof marks. It's not like anybody didn't discover it. So hopefully it'll survive long enough to propagate out here, because some point, this area in particular, I'll have to clean all the shards of glass and ceramic and nails out of it to make it a little safer. But I will eventually, if I live long enough, I'll make this area from the road to down there and over by that edge of the fence to the edge of that road into a patch for berries. Potentially multiple berries, but potentially just those blackberries. I don't know. It's a very unknown thing, but that area about, I don't know, 40 by 40, something like that, maybe 50 by 50. I've never measured it. It could be more or less than that. But anyhow, it's good rich soil. I'm just going to level it out so it doesn't constantly wash, although it hasn't really washed very much even now. I don't know how much I'll mess with it except to tear out a lot of the root and a lot of the junk. In fact, I'll probably I'll lift that one back out with the track loader or something, set it aside, skim this out good and flat, get all the yuck and bury it at the bottom so that there's just pretty much high quality soil at the top. And then I'll every year pin the new growth to the ground to propagate a new baby from it as long as I can, and keep doing that every year. Just use pinning and propagation that way to hopefully make a good herd. My brain is dead. I saw a deer and said herd. Whatever you call it, big patch of them. Try to line them up and get them in there as straight and orderly as possible. Now, I may have mentioned this, but eventually this steel is supposed to end up being a roll cage for my track loader someday. I don't know when or if I live that long. We'll see. Well, that's pretty much everything that I have done. I think I've showed you, yeah, I think last week I already showed the free goodies I got from the junk store that they had out there to be hauled off. I don't know that it matters to and post that, but again, and I have been working on designs on how to use them for at least the one piece for fence work. This aluminum rail here. Use this aluminum rail for a fence stretcher and or a trip hammer, or even if it's just inspiration for the same. It might not be strong enough to do for full time, we'll see. Anyhow, so that's everything for this week, and more than probably really happened. Again, some of it was what my mom did. So hopefully I'll have some better news for you next Sabbath. So for now, shalom, and see you when I next see you.